Hello, Sagittarius. I'm Poetic Heretic, and this is your October 2019 tarot forecast. So, I'll be giving you a Celtic Cross reading for the month of October 2019 for all Sagittarius people, Sun, Rising, and Moon. So, we will use this, or we are using this, to see what additional information we can discover in addition to the astrology that we already went over. What else can we sort of flesh out about the month of October through a tarot reading in addition to the astrology? These practices are meant to complement each other. So let us find out. But first, before we begin, real quick, let me explain to you that I decided that since we have Halloween this month, that I would be using the Tarot of Vampires deck by Ian Daniels just this month to give the tarot reading, or the tarot readings I'm doing this month, a nice spooky, dark Halloween vibe. So I'll be showing you each card, holding it up close to the camera, when we go over it, so you can appreciate the beauty of them, because after this month, no more of that. At least maybe not until next October, next Halloween, if I'm still doing these kinds of readings at that time. We shall see. Hopefully I am. I plan on it at least. All right, so without further ado, let us begin. We would like a Celtic Cross forecast for all Sagittarius people, Sun, Rising, and Moon, for the month of October 2019. Let's see what we get. What will be the fate, and what awaits the various Sagittarius people out there? What insight and advice can the universe offer to all Sagittarians in the world? Wait, is this it? This is it. All right, let us take a look. There's a random itch on my arm. Okay, that's not relevant. Okay. For your current outside influences, you got the Ace of Scepters reversed. See, now you guys are lucky. I'm filming this during the evening where you can actually see these cards much better in this lighting for whatever reason. During the daytime, you'd think it would be better, but it's actually far worse for viewing these cards. I don't know why, but anyway. For the challenge card, you got the Devil reversed. Very interesting. For the underlying energy, you got the Tower reversed. You guys are getting some heavy hitters this month. For the past, you got the Four of Skulls reversed. For what you hope to achieve, you got the Daughter of Skulls. For the near future, you got the Magician reversed. For your attitude or position on the situation, you got the Star. For the outside force coming in, you got the Nine of Knives reversed. For your hopes or fears, you got the Three of Skulls. And for the final outcome card, you got the Emperor. Wow, ending strong. Okay, let's take a look here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take like a minute or two to look all of this over myself and take it all in, get the general vibe of this reading so I can then give you the best interpretation possible. So feel free to fast forward if you don't want to wait, but it should just take a minute or so. I don't know if I'm always going to do this in these videos, but I often find that this enhances my readings, or at least it seems like it does. So let's see here. Okay. I see a lot of what's going on here. But it's interesting because this is, as they often are, a rather dynamic spread where there's a number of different things going on. So let's just dive right into it now. So for your current outside influences, you got the Ace of Scepters reversed. I'm going to just show it to you upright. You got it reversed, but I'll show you what it looks like upright. This represents your current outside influences right around the beginning of the month, how you're beginning the month of October. And this card corresponds to the Ace of Wands in a classic tarot deck. So Ace of Scepters reversed is basically saying that there's something that is blocking you from from taking action on something that you want to take action on, particularly around the beginning of the month. There's some kind of blockage. There's something holding you back from a delicious, potent, highly energized new beginning. And so while that is unfortunate and it's like a delay, stick with me because it's interesting seeing how this possibly plays out. And I suspect that basically by the end of the month, this is not exactly going to be a delay anymore, but we'll get into that later. But yes, starting out the month with like trying to break through something that's sort of putting a dampening on your ability to take action. All right, For your challenge card, of course, you got the Devil, and it did come up reversed. I'll just show it to you upright. It kind of doesn't always matter so much, I don't think, when the challenge card is reversed, like whether it's reversed or upright, but I think it can also matter. I have kind of a weird opinion or perspective on that. But yes, this is the Devil card in this deck, and you got it for the challenge card. So yeah, what the hell? Even though you got it reversed, I'll hold it upright as I'm explaining it, because I don't think it really matters so much in this context. So the Devil card in this particular deck is similar to the meaning in the Thoth deck, where unlike the Rider-Waite deck, where it's often about like difficulties and troubles and someone causing trouble and also like hedonism and all that kind of stuff. Unlike that, in this deck, it's all about the enjoyment of physicality and enjoying the physical pleasures of life, the pleasures of physicality, of the physical realms. This card is ruled by Capricorn, an earth sign, and is indeed very earthy. It's all about kind of like that, I don't know, you could call it maybe first chakra energy or whatever. It's all about the physical realm. And in this deck, indeed, it's all about enjoying the physical pleasures of life. So when you get it as your challenge card, it's like saying, make sure that you enjoy the physical pleasures this month, physical pleasures of life. Enjoy your physicality. Another thing I like to remind people about the challenge card is it's what is pushing you into new territory this month. It is what you have crossing you that if you didn't have, you couldn't really have growth, because challenges are what test and develop us. And I also like to remind people that by integrating the energy of the challenge card, by integrating this energy, you can then overcome that challenge. You can then do basically the work that you're meant to do. At least that is my leading theory on it at this point. So indeed, enjoy the physical pleasures of life. Now, another aspect of this that's very interesting, and it plays into what else we see in your reading here, is that the Devil card is also very often about manifestation. Again, it's ruled by Capricorn. That's the sign of manifestation. And again, just being an Earth card is going to have it talk about manifestation. And so you're wanting to manifest something this month. And I would say that the Ace of Scepters reverse that we just looked at is you're wanting to take action on manifesting something this month, creating something this month, but feeling blocked in doing so. And so that theme will continue to unfold throughout this reading, as you will see. So that is the Devil card for your challenge. For the underlying energy, everything forming a foundation for your current situation, as well as your immediate environment, you got the Tower reversed. So let me just show you that card up close, upright. Again, you got it reversed, but this is what it looks like upright. In this position, the underlying energy is not so much you as it is your environment or what you're sort of relying on this month? Or even what the foundation that you're standing on is this month. Now, fortunately for you, you got the Tower reversed, which now isn't always going to be a positive thing, but the Tower reversed often, at least my experience with it, is an indicator of the avoidance of a disaster. Now, it's often disaster narrowly avoided, or at the very least, it seems to be, again, in my experience. But yes, the avoidance of a disaster. Now, it's in the underlying energy, it's your environment, it's your foundation. Could be that people around you are avoiding a disaster, or that someone this month helps you avoid a disaster, helps you avoid a collapse of things. However, I almost want to say, as I look at your other cards, that there might also, in a negative sense, I feel like I have to mention this just in case, be something that is like something in your environment that is preventing you from reaching like a higher state of enlightenment or tapping into universal power or something like that. Something that's just blocking your ability to sort of progress spiritually. And so if that sounds like you, if that resonates, then recognize that as an area in which you personally need to work this month. But yeah, I would say that. And there's also this other interesting theme that seems to be running through here, that where perhaps some of you may simply feel like you're not standing on a stable foundation this month. And that's the reversal. But of course, I'm looking at your other cards here too, where instead you're feeling like some insecurity and like you're not standing on solid ground, essentially. And maybe that's related to all that 12th house activity that we went over with your astrology. Because 12th house isn't exactly a house that's associated with stability. It's far more associated with dreams and illusion and stuff like that can be positive, but can also bring instability. Now, speaking of which, for the past and issues that you've had to deal with that then lead to the present, and this is part of why I just said what I just said about the Tower card, you got the Four of Skulls reversed. So let me just show it to you upright. You got it reversed, but here it is upright. This card corresponds to the Four of Pentacles in a classic tarot deck. So one of the main things that the Four of Skulls reversed is about is indeed, as I mentioned, insecurity, especially financial insecurity, or at the very least, challenges surrounding monetary things. Can also be, like more specifically, I would say, difficulties in finding like a stable income or perhaps lucrative work, that sort of thing. So many of you may have had issues surrounding that recently that then have led to your current blockages. Perhaps that is connected to why you feel like you currently can't take action on what it is that you're wanting to take action on to manifest something, or even maybe that's why you feel like you can't fully enjoy the physical pleasures of life, because maybe there's been sort of financial interruption. However, again, this is a general reading, so it doesn't have to be money related. It could be just feelings of insecurity in general, or something not being secure in general, that has then led to this sort of blockage of your inspiration. So that is what we have there. For what you hope to achieve, you got the Daughter of Skulls. Here we go. This card corresponds to the Page of Pentacles in a classic tarot deck. So it's interesting that you get this card after what we have been over already, talking about like perhaps some financial or work difficulties and wanting to take action on something new, because indeed this card, this can mean a number of things, but one of the aspects of the Daughter of Skulls or Page of Pentacles is this idea of like changes and something new and exciting in a financial or work sense. And so this is what you're hoping to achieve. You know, this position is like your highest hope, your highest wish, what you're reaching for this month. So it's really just continuing largely with the theme that we've already been over, with your likely wanting to create that this month, or you're reaching for that. And I would say, looking ahead in the reading, how does all this turn out? The news is mostly good. It certainly appears to be mostly good. So we have that. There's still some challenges to go over here, but the eventual outcome of all this does appear to be mostly good. Now remember, of course, also this is an Earth card, and we could even connect it in with the Devil card, saying that was for your challenge, saying that with another meaning of that card being hard work, that being willing to basically engage in hard work this month, work hard, will help you overcome whatever challenge you're currently facing, whether it is financial or whether it's some other kind of like insecurity or something else blocking you from taking action on what you want to manifest. It's a very interesting card there. Just for the hell of it, I'm trying to think some of the other interpretations of Daughter of Skulls, Page of Pentacles. Well, it can be encounters with someone unconventional, someone who's like nature or animal loving. Just excitement around the new, but well, we've already been over that. Let's just continue. Sometimes I have almost this obsession with going over every little possibility that comes to mind, and I probably shouldn't do that, because then that's too many details. But for the near future, you got the Magician reversed. So this is like the first week or two of your month. I'll show it to you upright. Now it's interesting because the Magician upright is also a card that often talks about new beginnings, but you got it reversed. just like you got the Ace of Scepters reversed. So again, in this first week or two, we see you struggling to manifest the new beginning or create the new beginning. It's also interesting that the Magician upright talks a lot about recreating your reality as you see fit, taking what is and using your mind and your cleverness and your skills and abilities to recreate that in a way that is more beneficial to you. That is what you want to create. So the reversal, it's like you're still trying to create what you're trying to create. You're still trying to manifest what you're trying to manifest, as we saw, like with the Devil card yet again. But what this card is also saying to you is that part of what can help during this time is if you try to apply the energy or the lesson of the Magician upright, which is, again, use your mind, use your cleverness to recreate your reality as you see fit. Take what is and creatively come up with ways to change it, alter it, that will then get you what you want. I know that sounds rather abstract in general, but that is the idea. So that's what we have. Sometimes this card's reversal can indicate heavy tests or challenges, but, well, even if that's the case, I think we've already been over the main challenges this month, and we're about to enter into some improvements and sort of possibly even some solutions that come your way. So let's just continue right along here. For your attitude or position in the situation, about halfway through the month, you got the Star. The Star. This card in this position represents how you're feeling, not necessarily something that is yet manifested. But that is quite fitting for this card, because this card, I would say, in my experience with tarot over the years, beyond anything else, is about hope, the idea of hope. And so, despite some of these challenges this month, around halfway through the month especially, you are feeling hopeful. Like there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Like you can deal with whatever you have to deal with. And specifically, if you really want to get right down to it, the Star is about the hope of a life after trauma, or a life after great difficulty or pain. The hope of a much better life. You know, it's like following the light of the star in the dark night. It's like the night may be dark, but you see a bright star and it gives you hope. And you follow that, and eventually you could look at it as an analogy of, oh, you find your way home, or you follow it and then eventually the sun rises and now the darkness of night is gone and there's the beautiful day, symbolizing a much better life, you know, and having overcome and conquered your trauma or your fear or your difficulty or whatever. So despite some of the challenges this month, by about halfway through the month, you're feeling hopeful and you're ready to find that new peace in your life. It's another big aspect of the Star card, is this idea of peace and spirituality in general. But anyway, for the outside force coming in, you got the Nine of Knives reversed. So I'll hold that up. More good news here. As I said, this reading is sort of taking a turn, and we see that here. This card corresponds to the Nine of Swords in a classic deck, and you got it reversed, but I'm just showing it to you upright. And you also got it for the outside force coming in, which means it is not really representing you so much as it's representing someone or something outside you that is coming at you this month. So, Nine of Knives reversed is all about clarity regained, or we come to our senses. No more worrying, no more being kept up at night, no more being plagued with concerns. But now instead, things are far more clear. Usually that is what it means anyway. It can manifest negatively, but I think that this reading is indeed taking a turn and is manifesting positively. However, again, with it being the outside force coming in, this is going to likely be someone else who is helping you find clarity or find your clarity again, helping you see things from a different perspective, perhaps, especially with it being a 9, talking about the 9th house of beliefs and just sort of philosophy on things, seeing things from a different perspective. But it could also be someone in your life who comes your way and they're experiencing this right now. They have just recently regained clarity and sort of come to their senses and are feeling sane again, whereas before maybe they were feeling confused. And then this person ends up playing a significant role in your month this month. It could very easily manifest that way as well. And I guess one final possibility is it could even be some kind of situation that comes to you that represents this energy of clarification or coming to your senses or that sort of thing. So interesting stuff there. Let's see, let me just make sure I'm not missing anything here. Okay. For your hopes or fears, you got the 3 of Skulls. Let me hold that up. This card corresponds to the 3 of Pentacles in a classic deck. Now, I wish my camera was better at focusing, but sadly it doesn't often want to focus on these cards. But that is what we have. Oh, there it goes. It decided to be nice right now. So 3 of Skulls, 3 of Pentacles is all about working with someone else to construct or build something. It's about cooperation. Now, it's interesting as we look at your other cards this month, again, being like, oh, you're wanting to manifest something or whatever. This falling in your hopes or fears, I would say essentially is saying that you're hoping that you can work with someone else. You're hoping you can get like the cooperation or the help of someone else to manifest something, to build or create something this month, something that you are wanting to create. You're hoping to get that cooperation. And are you going to? Well, the cards aren't exactly clear about that. But you could say that the fact that this card is showing up is an indicator that it might happen, but I'm not going to say that it for sure will because we're just not getting very strong indicators of that. Unfortunately, you might just have to go it alone this month, but maybe not. Maybe at least some of you will have help. Hopefully a lot of you have help. For the final outcome card, you got the Emperor. This is how you are concluding the month of October. So there you have it. Oh, it focused right away. How nice. Definitely not a bad card for concluding your month. Not bad at all to get for the outcome card. So the Emperor card is all about self-discipline and willpower. And remember earlier, like with the Devil card being the challenge card, and the possibility of hard work being what could help you this month, I think that this showing up for the outcome card is a sign that is, or is perhaps another sign, I guess I'm trying to say, that if you are willing to do the hard work this month on whatever it is you need to do the hard work on, that's going to vary from person to person, obviously, then you will get rewarded. It will pay off. Now, the Emperor card more specifically is also very much about this idea of the authority, of working with authority, of getting the approval of authority. And so you, many of you, I would say, are also likely to find this month that somehow working with an authority in either your chosen field when it comes to your work, or someone who perhaps has to approve you're getting a license for something or that sort of thing, some kind of authority, working with them is going to be a very big part of your month. That's what the Emperor card is all about, is sort of getting familiar with the authority in an already existing system as we sort of become a part of that, getting the approval of authority. And as far as human life goes here, I know like some people have resistance to authority, and for good reason. But I would just suggest that people remember that as far as human life goes and the way that things play out in the human physical realm, authority is just a part of, it has to be a part of life because of the way that things work here, or at least at this time. Not saying it has to be forever necessarily, but the way that things are now, the stage that human consciousness is at now, authority has to be a part of life. And I know there's a lot of concern because there's so much corrupt authority, but not every authority is corrupt. And the tarot, with the Emperor upright at least, is talking about authority that is sound and good, not authority that is corrupt. So that's what we have here. However, just real quick, I do this occasionally with readings, is I'm going to draw an 11th card because I feel like there's almost maybe some additional information we could get here. I feel like there's something that's just not being revealed about this. Like maybe we can find out, will you get help this month, as we talked about with the Three of Skulls? Will you get to work with someone to build something? Or will your hard work pay off, as the Emperor card and the Devil card sort of seem to possibly suggest? Like what else can we find out here? Let's just see. I almost can't believe it. Literally, the Lord of Skulls. This corresponds to the Knight of Pentacles in a classic tarot deck. I'll just hold it up very briefly. So yeah, basically, if you're looking for a sign that your hard work will pay off this month, this is like the most appropriate card that could possibly come up. So yes, I will say yes, 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 indeed. I think my intuition was correct in saying if you do the hard work this month, it will pay off. It will be worth it by the end of the month. The Lord of Skulls, Knight of Pentacles, is all about working steadily away towards success. So that's excellent. One other possibility, especially since you also got the Daughter of Skulls in this, those are both court cards. There might be an earth sign. I guess if we sort of look at both of them, maybe it could be male or female, I'm not sure. But perhaps an earth sign who ends up being the one who assists some of, if not perhaps even many of you this month. That would be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. So if someone does assist you this month, perhaps it's going to be Lord of Skulls or the Daughter of Skulls. So there you have it. All right, Sagittarius. Very interesting month. I hope you enjoyed this. Yes, it starts out with various challenges and blockages, but it's like the more you go throughout this month, the more that you are able to successfully conquer these challenges, as I know you'll be able to. And as you continue to do your work, and also I would suggest do the best you can to enjoy the pleasures of life, the physical pleasures of life, as the Devil card recommends to you, then you come out on top by the end of the month, and you're better for having experienced it. So pretty awesome, Sagittarius. Pretty freaking awesome. So thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe, as I plan on returning soon with more astrology and tarot related content, astrology and tarot forecasts. Again, I hope you have a great month. Happy Halloween. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.